Okay, so today I'm going to show you guys how to get your eyebrows on fleek. I start off by combing my eyebrows with my spoolie to get them shaped how I want them. The next thing I use on my brows is this brow gel, and I actually use a gel eyeliner from e.l.f. and it's in the color of coffee, and sometimes it dries out. You know, like any gel product tends to dry out quicker, so to get it to come back to life, you can use the Duraline from Inglot. It brings your products back to life so well if it dries out. Any cream product, like, it's amazing. Get you some Duraline, and you only need one drop. Like, it's popping. So after I bring my eyeliner back to life, I go in with the angled brush from Sephora, and it's brush number 22, but you can use any angled brush, you know, any angled brush. Put a little bit on your brush. Like, a little goes a long way with gels, because if you pack too much on your brush, it'll be so thick and just look terrible. So make sure you use it lightly. And what I do with the gel first, I outline my brows, and I start at the arch of my brow or at the tail, never at the front. If you start at the front, your brow will come out way too dark and you won't like how you look, at least in my opinion. So just outline your brows with the gel. You only need to dip it in once. You don't have to keep dipping it into the gel, because if you keep dipping, it'll just get too dark. So one dip is good. It should be able to outline your entire brow without going back into the product. So I just outline how I like it, shape it how I want, you know, make sure you like it. Like, I like to make my tail pretty sharp, and then the front, when you do it, you like do really soft strokes to give that tapered look. Before I fill in with that powder, with that shadow, I use the spoolie to comb through to get the product distributed throughout my hairs, because if I don't, the gel will just be sitting there. So using the spoolie to comb it through will make it look more natural. And I use that same Sephora brush to add the powder. And I use the eyeshadow from the Kat Von D quad, and that quad color name is Rust. All the products I'm using will be in the description. So yeah, I just pack some of that brown shadow, a matte brown shadow. I pack it onto the brush and go and fill in any sparse spots in my brows, because you don't want any bald spots in your brows. That's not popping. And it's better to go like this with the powder instead of going back in with the gel, because it won't be so harsh and it won't be super dark and strong. It's more natural when you go back in with the powder. Don't worry if you make any mistakes when you're doing this or when you outline, because you can go up and clean up your brows with concealer. Concealer saves lives, for real. And you'll see the difference of, like, you see now, like, my brow filled in compared to the one that's not. It's so sparse over there. But the concealer that I use is the LA Girl Pro Concealer, and I use two different colors for my brows. I use Fawn and I use Cool Tan. I use Fawn at the top of my brow and Cool Tan on the bottom. And the brush that I'm using is from Real Techniques. Pack some of the concealer onto the brush. How we get this brow fruity with the concealer. The concealer cleans up everything, you'll see. So on the bottom, since I'm going on the bottom, I'm using Cool Tan. I use Cool Tan on the bottom of my brow because it's like 2 shades lighter than me, or like a shade lighter than me, and it gives me like a natural highlight. Not so dramatic. Like, if I'm going out, I'll use like a way lighter concealer. But since I'm just doing a natural brow for everyday wear, I just use Cool Tan, and it gives me like a natural highlight. And then on top I use Fawn, and Fawn is like my skin tone, so it's not a highlight at all. I don't like a highlight on top of my brow, because then you get like those highlighter brows, and that's not a good look to me. And to blend out this concealer, I use a concealer brush from Bellapro, and I'm not sure where you can get Bellapro at. I got it at, I think it was either Marshall's or TJ Maxx. But it blends out concealer like a dream. So I suggest you get a concealer brush. I know Sephora has a good one too. That's a good alternative. And then I'm just gonna go back in with that Real Techniques brush and clean up the top of it with the LA Girl Pro Concealer in Fawn. And this is how I do my brows when I want my brows to be brown. But when I do red brows, I can also do a tutorial on that if you guys want to see it. Let me know in the comments how to do red brows. Because it's pretty similar to the way I do red brows, but it's still like a different method. So I can show you guys how I do that. So clean up the top of your brow with the skin tone concealer. Like you want the top of your brow to be a skin tone, like your skin tone. You don't want it to be a highlight. I mean, if you want it to be a highlight, you can use a highlight, but I prefer concealer. That's my skin tone. You see how the concealer just cleans up any mess that you make or mistakes that you made when you were filling your brows in or shaping them. Brush just blends out. That concealer brush is amazing. It blends out the concealer so pretty, seamless. It's like I'm really particular about how I like my brows to look, so I'll just keep brushing them to make sure the product is blended and looking how I like it to look. I want it to clean up a little bit more. Like I go back in with a cool tan on the tail because I like my tail to pop, even if it is like a natural eyebrow look. I like it to still have like a little more attention on that tail. It needs to be popping. You see the difference? Look at my brow, my other brow compared to this one. It's way more fleeky. It's like uniformed. The other one's like wild over there. So you guys see how I did that brow and how much better it looks than my other brows. I'm gonna go ahead and fill that one in so we can be fleeky on both sides. And I'll be back with the end result. Like you see how it looked before and how I transformed it. So basically, if you follow these steps, your brows, you too can be fleeky. Since I'm wrapping it up with this brow, you guys, if you want to see more videos from me, you can go ahead and comment any requests you want to see from me. Also, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to see more videos from me because more are definitely coming. And I'll see you guys next time.